Namaste and welcome, beloveds. To another beautiful joining in light session in the celebration of infinite being. Yeah, someone said that. It is so powerful, you know, this is given by Jesus to look as the light of infinite being, to see if everything's true that he says, and discover and see that we already know that it's true what he's saying. And how powerful that is to be in alignment with the voice within, to accept the divine power of who we are, and to cease to deny it. And just the joy of it, the simplicity and the pure joy of it, of ceasing to deny, and to come together like this to celebrate it and let that power, the real we are, the power that moves everything in consciousness without effort whatsoever. With no effort whatsoever, we can generate a dream. All the effort is playing in the dream in what does not exist. Does the light of divine being know anything at all about effort? In our direct experience, does it know anything? Can it find effort? Even if it tries hard, can it find effort? And looking as the light of divine being, is it effortful to see that we're divine, that light's here? It's just a recognition. Just a recognition, because it's already here. It is. It's what is. So this is basking as what is. Every day, bask. And just listen within to the powerful voice. And Jesus was bringing to mind that we don't even have to know anything about the Course in Miracles, nothing. Even to be in a light circle, you have to know anything about the Course, because you bring light being with where you go. You know, there's like, if we sit over here on the couch, is light being still there? It's divine. It's like my niece. And I tell that story on that. I love that. I hadn't been doing the light circles after Jesus had showed me this light, the blue light. The infamous blue light. But I see why he had to show it in color, because does divine light have any color? But he used that symbol as to focus on the divine light within. And so my niece was upset one day, and I just said to her, what happens when you place your upset in the light? Now she's 7. She hasn't heard of the Course in Miracles. You know? Like, that's the power of innocence. First thing out of her mouth, she says it melts trouble. So it was it's a humbling speed correction, reflection in the mind of the speed of the correction and accepting the correction so quickly. And Jesus was also reminding me, so again, he uses our memory to bring things in where we've unlearned, where we've really seen what's true, without even knowing the Course. And he's really talking about the power, reminding me of the power of the correction and the speed of it. And I also tell this story as well, the power of the light. When my aunt had died, and I was just walking around the house that night after I'd driven up to Minneapolis from Wisconsin, and walking around the house going, oh, I'll never see this again. And, you could just, all those thoughts around death coming up. And I just lay down on the couch. I don't even know what the prayer was. I don't remember anymore. But to see another way, this was before the Course, to just see, and it was so immediate that it just went, and I was at perfect peace. like perfect peace, like everything that he talks about, but not really knowing what that was like complete peace. The correction, just the decision in mind for the power of the correction. And then a little other something came up. Somebody was handing me a piece of her jewelry, and I had that moment of feeling, you know, a little, and the same thing, you know, in the light, gone. And, you know, those were things like, well, of this world, that can't be possible. Actually, I got a interesting reflection one time. It's like, you can't shut off those emotions. You know, you can't not experience it. It's like Jesus is saying, it's not about emotions. It's about seeing what's true right now. So about 6 weeks later, a favorite uncle passed away, and I was suffering for a couple of days with it. And all of a sudden I said, wait a minute, you know, this is what we're doing. This is why Jesus showed to me to remind me again, go to light, go to light. And I was suffering. It goes, wait a minute, this has been shown. This has been shown that there's no need to suck it. I feel happy just talking about this. This is our divine power. And he keeps giving me these talks. You know, I get the Jesus pep, step into your divine power, you know. And the same thing happened. 30 seconds, boom, gone. Perfect peace, happiness, not a sadness on a moment around my uncle's passing. And, you know, these are just reflections in the world of our divine power to accept our identity, to step into the power, step into it, you know, because we've been stepping back and Jesus, and he's just going, for me, right? You know, really, you know, see that you're accessing everything that you are, super consciousness, by saying yes, seeing what we're really saying yes to. Wow. We're really saying yes to everything instead of saying no to it, no to nothing, which is impossible anyway. That's what the humor is. That's why I've been laughing so much lately, because when we look, we can't deny that the light's here. Really, you know, we can see that's impossible to say no to the light. I mean, we can pretend to say no, but really, as divine beings, when we look, can we find a place that the light isn't? You know, it's impossible to say no. It's like, it's not possible. It's like, wait a minute, we're talking infinite love now. I can remember thinking fast, like, okay, if it's infinite love, I sure don't know where that is. You know, where is it? And I didn't see that was the choice of saying, saying, I don't know where it is. It's not here. Yet when we really look, like my niece, again, when I showed her, I think I mentioned that pointing experiment in the headless way, where you point to your knee and you can see it's an object, and point to your chest and it's an object, and you point like this, and you go, what's this finger pointing to? Is it an object? And my niece goes, she looks at that. I said, what do you see? All is forgiven. There's the Course in Miracles. All is forgiven. That was like, okay, how long have I been on the spiritual search, quote unquote? That was a fun reflection in consciousness. She knows she's the light too. She goes around talking about being the light. It's a beautiful thing. It's really, yeah. That is the Course in Miracles. Seeing this light is the Course in Miracles. Beyond the miracles. Even Jesus says that, right? Didn't we just read that in one of the lessons? Like, we're beyond the miracle. Beyond the miracle. Is the light beyond the miracle? Let's hear what the light has to say. The light of infinite being that we're celebrating, is it beyond the miracle? And here, inner voice tell us, yes. The miracle is the most helpful idea on this planet for the acceptance of divinity, given by that light within. So feels really good to keep looking. SG's is still helpful. He's going, yes. So we keep looking. Oh, yeah. Here's one that came today. It's, yeah, okay. It's helpful to say this for me. So, yeah, you kind of, it's really very beautiful because we can start this dialogue that he's helping to train us in with looking at the light, and we start to get trained to really hear that voice, the voice that lets us know that there's no beginning, no end. We start really listening to that voice, and then we can have really a conversation with it. An innocence, really, with the willingness to be taught by the part of ourselves that remember divinity. And so, of course, I have that conversation with Jesus. I call it Jesus. And so I asked him, sometimes you ask a question, you get the answer. But so I asked him, all perception, is all perception a desire for specialness? He goes, yes. So, no, it's in, yes. Is all perception a desire for specialness? So it feels really good. In the light of divine being, like, is perception the desire for experience of specialness? I'm putting that on the light. That's when we start. Is all, that goes deep. All perception is a desire for specialness. All perception. Doesn't leave. Oh my gosh. These are the sort of things we can just ask about, ask anything with the willingness to be shown, because everyone can hear this voice. I'm just willing to see it. This. So we keep going through the Course in Miracles, looking at each. So it gets deeper every time, really. For me, it's been that way. You believe that fear is real. We just don't fear specialness. It's true, right? We know this from the Course. You believe that fear is real. Well, we can ask the divine light, is fear real, first of all? And then we can ask the divine light, okay, is fear the desire to experience specialness? And hear that within. And turn any energy around that, desire for fear, for specialness. And then today he was giving me a talk about pain being a desire for specialness. Oh, I'm putting that up. Is pain the desire for the experience of specialness? Yeah, because I was looking at this arm. I touched a pot when I was cooking today. So, of course, that was a Jesus learning opportunity. That doesn't really hurt, you know, I just, yeah, I don't really feel it. You know, I just prayed with Jesus on it, and it really keeps his promises. Like, we look for the desire for pain. I just asked him, did I desire that? And he said, yes. You know, okay. Mm. Mm. Yeah, the desire, it's all a desire for specialness. Because you notice anything that appears variable in the world is specialness, right? Because does divine light know anything special? In our direct experience, it just, it's is. Is the experience of divine light, is that, can a limitation be found in it? Is it calling out, notice me, notice, you know, it's not, does it want anything? Is it a wanting? So specialness is the desire to experience variability, to experience the changing. You desire to miscreate an experience of pain as real. Jesus, is there any desire below my level of awareness still for pain that I need to look at? Any desire to be special through pain? So now he's going, pain is merely an expression of the denial of divinity. Is, in our experience as light beings, is pain an expression of the denial of divinity? You believe you can be separate from your true reality. Thus, you desire an experience of being separate from your true reality. Is there any desire left below the level of awareness to have an experience of being separate from true identity? And just show me the areas, Jesus, where that desire is there. The desire to prove that I am not the light that's here. To fight with the light, an argument with light. It's just having an argument with myself. Is there any energy around that? Jesus is saying, when you deny me, you're having an argument with the light. He's reminded me of the but Jesus. It's an argument with ourselves. You believe your origin is open to belief. You desire an experience where your origin is open to belief, that you're subject to belief. Okay, here's a good one. Jesus, is there any desire? Do I like being subject to beliefs? And see if he says yes or no. Do I enjoy feeling the effect of my own beliefs? Is there a desire to feel the effects of my own beliefs? I'm willing to see that in the light. That really puts it squarely where it is. And you see, do I want to, because it's so much like, no, Jesus, no, I'm not doing this. And then you ask in the divine light and you get, yes, you do. Can't hide from the light. But then it's kind of funny. We're doing it because we think it's funny. Unless we get too wound into it, then it's suffering. Okay. Okay, so let's look at this. Origin is open to belief. Origin open to belief, meaning the origin of the false self, the ego, the construction of a false identity. Jesus says, don't say you don't like it, because you do. Because that's what's happening. We're saying, I don't like this. I don't like this world. I don't like what's happening. I don't like. It said it can only happen if you desire it, which is the whole, of course, new covenant. It's the whole Course in Miracles too. This is the Reader's Digest version. Well, he more, he says, you know what? He's like Yoda now, because before, if you read the Course in Miracles, he's going, during the Course lessons, he's saying, now let's try to look at the, and see who you are. Now he's saying there is no try, do. Right? It's sort of like knock off the silliness and jump in. That's what it feels like. It must be what the mind's ready for, because that's what's appearing. Get right in there. Okay. Okay, you do not believe there is another way of perceiving. You desire to miscreate an experience where you've forgotten there's another way of perceiving, and thus place true perception out of your awareness. Jesus, is there any desire to place true perception out of my awareness? I'm willing to see any energy around that. So much love and letting go of these things, really, just in so much love. You start to see what you give away, what you deny yourself, to the point where you just don't want to deny it anymore. Like he says, we've become so desensitized to the denial. And it's so spread out over a timeline. And then you feel the happiness of that timelessness of true divine being. And all the happiness that's offered. It gets really, really inspiring to look with Jesus every day at these, like every day more and more inspiring, at least here. So inspiring. Like, you give only because you believe you're somehow getting something better. The give and the get. Let's look at that in the light. You desire to miscreate an experience where you give with the expectation you will somehow be getting something better. Is there any energy around that? Any investment? I wanted to see it. And just place that little thought right in the light of divine being and say, does the light of divine being that we are give to get something better? Does it even know what that is? Like, it's like looking on an empty hard drive, like there's nothing there. Energy for that. In the light of divine being are giving and the receiving the same in our direct experience. As the light of divine being are giving and receiving the same. Are they simultaneous in our direct experience? Is time simultaneous in the direct experience of divine being? Is time simultaneous? We're actually beyond time, yet that divine, the super consciousness answers that. Jesus answers that. Is time simultaneous in our direct experience as divine beings? Is time in our direct experience a desired experience in the light of divine being? If it's experience, is it desired? Is time made to deny happiness in the light of divine being? Is the world made to deny happiness in the light of divine being? Yet even in truth, can the world deny the light? Can it deny happiness, true happiness? Does the divine light require that we feel guilt to recognize divine light? Is guilt necessary in any way, shape, or form to wake up? Is the divine light asking us in any way, shape, or form to experience guilt for the creation of the world? Is the divine light in any way, shape, or form at any time asking us to experience guilt? Is the divine light in any way, shape, or form asking us to experience sadness? Is the divine light in any way, shape, or form asking us to experience hopelessness? Does it know what hopelessness is? Does the divine light in any way, shape, or form know what punishment is? Does it seek punishment or vengeance for anything? Does the divine light know anything other than peace? Perfect peace. Does the divine light ask us to do anything to know this, to recognize this light? Does this divine light have any expectations whatsoever of us? To know it in our direct experience. Is there any expectation in divine light? Does divine light telling us to go out and do anything to recognize the light of divine being? Does the divine light know anything other than love in our direct experience? Can anything other than divine light be known in a direct experience? Can we hear the voice for God in our direct experience? Is the voice for God the same as ourselves in truth, in the light of divine being? Is that our own voice? Is that voice the same as Christ, as Jesus, in our direct experience? Does the voice for God speak to us throughout the day in our direct experience as the light? This is revelation readiness. All revelation is the recognition that there isn't anything other than light. The world may appear, but there's no mistaking that the light is not the world, that the world has any impact on the light. The world disappears as objective experience when all denials of divinity are given away or no longer or seen through, let's put that, when they're seen through, not to be true. The dream may continue. It's recognized to be a dream. That's the power Jesus is pointing to as divine being, the power of the light within, and letting the light lead, just like the Course Miracles. I'm seeing it. Just like today, let the light go first, rather than the idea we have of ourselves. See that this light answers every question. All the questions that could be asked about spiritual awakening, the light answers. Everyone hears it. It's the only thing, these are the only answers. When have we, and Muji says this too in a satsang, and it's so true, when have we sat in a room where all the beings in the room could agree on any one thing? Yet when we look as the light, because we are the light, it's the only thing that can be agreed on, really, in truth, that's all there is. Yet see that the answers that come as the light are so consistent. If you ask the light today, is the light limited? The answer is no, and it's the same as in 5 minutes from now, 10 minutes from now, 6 hours from now. Same answer. Does the light know death? No. In our direct experience, we all know this. The same answer today, tomorrow, 5 minutes from now, the only thing that's consistent. What power we have. The same as that. That's what's given by the Father. The beauty of it. The majesty of it. And every day we have this gift of coming together to celebrate it unceasingly. Does the light, is there any ceasing in the celebration with the light within? Does it know anything other than celebration? Does the light within know anything other than gratitude? Gratitude is the song of the light. That's why it's such a potent experience in consciousness, because it is an expression of light within consciousness, gratitude, just like love is an expression of the light. The purity of the light expresses as love and gratitude and joy. So I thank Jesus every day for this, that you would all come as symbols in my mind. It's so mysterious. How's that happening in the light? How's that happening, that we would get to come together every day to celebrate and focus on the light of being, the holiest thing on to join the holy in this holy way. Thank you so much. We send our love and blessings to you. And we're going to just hang on a minute. We're going to actually turn off the, in the streaming and in the video for the session, for the part that we're going to post up on YouTube. And then I just want to share something with the beings that are on the light. So we'll just let Renee, who's kindly taken on, just let me know when the live streaming stops. I think up at the right-hand corner you can do it. Or left-hand corner at the top. Can you see it at the left?
Like the little
If you look in the Zoom window.
Oh, I see.
Okay, and you click on that.
Stop
So bye everybody on YouTube and
stop live stream.
yeah, stop live stream.